As someone who faces challenges every day because of a learning disability, I've always been aware of how being labeled as disabled can hinder someone's self-worth. I now know that a broader social system exists that privileges abled bodies and able-minded people while disadvantaging those that are disabled physically and mentally. The ability disability system arises from culturally fabricated narratives that see abled bodies as young and strong. The disabled are viewed as weak and sick. These stereotypes are broadcasted in many movies, such as Thor, Superman, and other superhero movies that display many heroes as strong and abled men associated with power and goodness. These descriptions become manifested in real life, exemplified by our own president's actions of mocking a reporter with arthrogryposis, associating disability with being unreliable. These behaviors lead to reinforcement of stereotypes, justifying more opportunities to be given to abled bodies, creating ableism. This image of power associated with ability is reinforced in our society as representation of powerful people continue to be shown as bodies that conform to these standards. Not only does the system create favorable biases towards abled bodies, but it also allows greater access to power and resources. Rosemary Garland Thompson, a feminist disability theorist, makes the claim that this system penetrates into the formation of culture, legitimizing an unequal distribution of resources, status, and power within a biased social and architectural environment. Her claims are shown in ways including signs and buildings not displaying Braille, sacrificing many from access to buildings and public sectors. This system hinders disabled bodies from performing everyday functions, including riding the subway, getting gas, and many other things that abled bodies take for granted. These bodies become devalued because of their inability to conform to social standards. If a body cannot function due to the way society was built, one is subjected to a private sphere. This is exemplified by how the mentally ill are viewed in society. Instead of working to adjust society to meet the needs of people who suffer from various psychological disorders, they are often locked up in asylums. This reinforces stigmas and ideology that these people cannot function in society. Besides the mentally ill, the elderly are also subjected to private spheres, often being put into retirement homes, as society views them as unable to function due to their age. To achieve equal representation and opportunities, understanding the ability disability system and how it creates culturally fabricated narratives allows for the deconstruction of these definitions. Legislation, including putting ramps in buildings for people in wheelchairs to gain entry, is an example of how we can rid impairments in society. Other implications can be implied, including creating an equal amount of representation for all types of bodies and variations. Creating equal representation eliminates stereotypes of weakness, recreating images of power and beauty instead. I learned how to read in a different way than most, as resources for my environment were harder to obtain because the education I had was not built for different learning styles. Accepting that learning in a different way or having some bodily variation doesn't make someone abnormal creates viewing human diversity as something positive. This has ultimately helped me redefine and gain my own self-worth.